All right, how we doing, everybody? Welcome to the Just Jacoby podcast. We're going to be covering a lot of different things on this show, all to do with New York sports. We'll cover some out-of-market teams, some out-of-market games, but primarily we're going to be focused on Jets, Giants during football season, outside of football season, Knicks, Nets. We'll do some Mets, Yankees, Islanders, Rangers. But right now we're going to start off with the New York Jets. So coming into the season, it's week 0 right now. We're going to have opening night Thursday, Green Bay, Chicago. Poised to see what goes on in that game. But we have the Jets. They're opening up Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. It seems to me like the Bills are getting a great deal of hype, more than what they deserve. I can't understand it. I understand the addition of Ed Oliver, and they got this new young offense. The Bills, much like the Jets, have not done anything significant. They have not won any significant games in my lifetime. The Jets in the Rex Ryan era, they had a couple appearances, the AFC Championship games, and a couple with Pennington early on 2000s. But I mean, the Bills they've had nothing since the Kelly era, legitimately nothing. I can't understand why people are so high on the Bills going into the season. But here's what I can understand. I can understand why the Jets are being slept on. The Jets, with a 3rd overall pick in this year's NFL draft, selected Quinnen Williams. Now, Quinnen Williams was perhaps the most highly touted defensive prospect in the entire draft. When I saw that Quinnen was coming to the Jets, I was extremely, extremely excited. Now, and the thing is with Quinnen, is it seems to me like he has a bit of learning to do. He didn't start a tremendous amount of games for Alabama. That being said, I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. I think Greg Williams is going to have him in the mix early, but I'll tell you what the issue is going to be. And something that, it's just the stain on the Maccagnan, the Maccagnan run as GM is that 3rd-round pick in Jacoby Polite, who didn't make the 53, and that's that's a high round draft pick that's now just gone by the wayside. And for what? We see with Polite, the big question when I saw that, because after the draft, people were saying, this kid can play ball. There's some serious upside potential with him, and now this kid's racked up $100,000 in fines. He can't make the 53-man roster. There's a lot of rumors of him coming in out of shape. So it's interesting to me that, whatever was going on between Gase and Maccagnan played out the way that it did. Maccagnan got fired. And it speaks to poor ownership, because now you got Joe Douglas in working with Maccagnan's guys. Clearly he wasn't happy with them cutting Polite. That being said, I think Joe Douglas has done a pretty nice job bringing in talent, especially on the defense with that depleted linebacking core and cornerback, as we're seeing guys go down left and right. I think the biggest thing for the Jets defense, the biggest thing that they need to worry about going into the 2019 season is their cornerbacks. They have been so weak at this position since Darrelle Revis was wearing white and green with the number 24 on his chest for the New York Jets every Sunday. And even then, Cromartie was still getting bullied while Revis was locking down his wide receivers. Now, the Jets, it's a sad state of affairs for the Jets cornerbacks. They're going to be relying mainly, from what it seems to me, on Tremaine Johnson, and then past that, on Jamal Adams and Marcus May coming over the top and trying to make plays. Now, I don't know that that's, a recipe for success exactly, but I don't think that's going to have them as worse off as people are thinking. They have a solid D-line, as long as Quinnen steps up. You got Leonard Williams in there, and with the addition of C.J. Mosley as an interior linebacker, this defense is not the joke that people are making it out to seem. So on that side of the ball, I think the Jets are going to surprise some people. I don't see them coming in and getting washed, especially week one with the Bills. I don't think that offense is going to do anything against them. And on the other side of the ball, you have a sophomore quarterback in Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold is one guy that people are pretty high on. It seems like all throughout summer you're getting reports out of Florham Park that Sam Darnold is, he's throwing the lights out of the football. He's zipping the ball to Robbie Anderson, to Enunwa, to Crowder. Le'Veon as a check down is making options for him. Montgomery the same. I think people are going to be extremely surprised about how explosive and electric the Jets' offense might be. They have the potential. I don't see why this is not the breakout year for Robbie Anderson as a deep threat. Apparently, they've adjusted his route running now, so he's going to be able to make lateral cut. He's not just going to be the deep ball guy. So that being said, that's going to open up things for Enunwa underneath, and Crowder filling in those seams. And the biggest thing that people seem to forget is the Jets have drafted one of the highest profile, most prolific running backs that the National Football League has ever seen. I'm sorry, not drafted. They signed him. And, in Le'Veon Bell, what he could do for Sam Darnold is exactly what Ezekiel Elliott does for Dak Prescott over in Dallas, and I think tenfold, because I think Darnold has much more upside, much more potential as a quarterback than Prescott ever had. And to have somebody like Bell, who makes plays, who can catch the ball, who is a smart runner, is going to he's going to change the playing field for Darnold in that Jets offense. And I think this team, if I had to pin a game win total on them, I'd put them around the 9-win mark. It's going to be tough for them to make a wild card spot in the AFC because you're dealing with teams now like, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Colts, who have contenders in their own division that they might not win the division, but they always lock up these wild card spots. In order for the Jets to make the playoffs, they need to dethrone the New England Patriots, and I don't see Brady having this off year. He's throwing 65-mile-an-hour balls. I just don't. It's not happening. I understand that Gronk's step back. He's retired. And you got Sonny Michel and you got James White coming into their own as running backs, and you got this receiving core. You got Josh Gordon coming back. I do not think that Tom Brady is going to lose one single step. I think he's going to throw the lights out of the ball, and I think he's going to light up the AFC. And that's unfortunate for my New York Jets. I think they're going to hold their own amongst other teams in the division, but the New England Patriots are not. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. Tom Brady is going to be doing this in the nursing home. And that's what I got to say about it. So that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to have some real football games to have watched. It'll be no more speculation. We'll know. We'll have concrete answers. We'll know what the Jets did. We'll know what the Giants did. We'll know what the rest of the teams in the AFC and NFC East did. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm chomping at the bit. I can't wait for some real football. So, we'll check back in. We'll see what these scores are looking like, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you.